Hey, everybody. I see, hey, we're 30 seconds early. We're not 2 minutes late like usual. It's good to see everybody in the chat here. I know it's about 20 seconds delayed. So, hey, Urban Machina, you guys are in the house, which is awesome. Robert's here. I'm going to say hi to everybody else, but we're about to start the show. Let's go. From the lockdown San Francisco Bay Area, live every Tuesday night, it's ESG Live with Chuck and Rainier. Tonight, a rare interview with the founder of Inokim, Nimrod Sapir. Rainier's Ride Report. And the premiere of the Inokim Aux electric scooter. And now, the man who didn't cut himself shaving this week, Temple. All right. We have such an incredible show for you guys today. I can't tell you how excited I am to have Nimrod Sapir here today. We're going to try to get him on the line in about 10 to 12 minutes from now. He is one of the OGs. He's like the godfather of electric scooters that nobody knows, right? Inokim. Anyway, we're going to get into that. And if you don't know about Inokim, and if you're a fan of electric scooters, you need to know who he is. So anyway, welcome everybody. I see everybody already chatting it up in the live chat. It's awesome to see you all here. I know Houston's in the house, Vienna's in the house, someone from London's in the house, David Voss is in the house, Urban Machina's in the house. Awesome. Okay, so let's get this show on the road because we have some really special things for y'all today. So we have, of course, Nimrod Sapir that's going to come on. We have Rainier's Ride Report, and we have our first ever review of an Inokim scooter, which we're super excited about. Inokim was a brand that I had no idea what that was because we didn't really have anybody in the US that was like promoting that scooter. And so one of my buddies, Alberto, that I went on the road trip with, he went back to London after our road trip, rode an Inokim scooter, and was like, Chuck, you gotta try this Inokim scooter. It is so just beyond what is in the US right now. So we're very happy to ride the scooter. We have a review coming up right at 6:00 p.m. Pacific Standard. So in 58 minutes, we have our full review. We've been working for basically 3 weeks on this review. It goes over all, it's a deep dive into the scooter. So we have that. We have Rainier's Ride Report on that same scooter coming up in the middle. So our mission, Electric Scooter Guide, is to help you find the perfect scooter. We do this show every Tuesday at 5:00 Pacific Standard Time. If you're on, subscribe to us. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to us. Make sure you give us a like, thumbs up. Just do that right now. It helps us out a lot. You can follow us on Instagram and then also Facebook. If you have questions about electric scooters, that's where I hang out during the week. I hang out on the Facebook group. It's our own Facebook group. It's moderated heavily so you don't get spam in there. We don't allow people selling in there. It's all just users asking questions to other users. And we try to get in there and give advice. But man, there's 50 people that will give you advice on there. Okay, speaking of Facebook, we do Photo Friday every Friday on the Facebook group. So I got a runner up. So typically we don't allow the sellers they can post photos or whatever, but I don't know, we'll have to make a policy on this. Until we make a policy, Christopher Ray from Apollo Scooters, he has the Apollo City that he submitted. He actually got the most upvotes, but we can't have him win because I think, we can't have sellers win because it's kind of, whatever. This is for the people. Anyway, that's the Apollo City right there. We also had another runner-up, Nina Power, who has a Galaxy Urban X3. She took this picture at her local BMX park in Bromley, which I believe is in the UK. I had to stalk her a little bit to know where she lived, but looks really cool over there. I got one of the highest upvotes this week too, and I'll just put that in there because actually this picture is for the Inokim, and it's this floating tire, which the single swing arm kind of suspension that the scooter has gives this weird optical illusion that the tire is floating while you ride. So if you're looking at someone riding on the scooter, it looks like it's floating. It's very cool. So I thought I'd throw that in there, and I got one of the most upvotes myself. Anyway, we had a tie for first place. So let's do Simone Carr's image first, if that's okay. So Simone Carr took this picture in Vancouver, British Columbia. It's of a scooter I haven't heard of before, the 2019 Synergy Sport 800 watt. Looks very cool. It's sold by North 49 Brands in Vancouver. It's got about a 30 kilometer range, 40 kilometer per hour top speed on flat ground, weighs about 48 pounds. So thank you, Simone, for submitting and tying for the winner for this week. The other tie for the winner is Thomas Bennett, who was on last week as well. Fantastic photo here of the Speedway 5. Thanks everybody for submitting your photos. If you want to be part of the competition, if you will, check out the Facebook group. Okay. New releases for us. So of course we had the Apollo Explorer last week. We've got the Inokim Ox this week. We are definitely taking a break. I'm not doing a scooter review this week because I can't work that many hours. So we're going to do one every other week, at least until employees can come back, because, the coronavirus hit us too, and we can't have everybody working like we were before. So anyway, we're going to do something else for you guys next week. It's either going to be a showdown, maybe the 09 versus Wide Wheel Pro. We're going to do something really fun. We also have the 08 review coming up. We're going to have the used scooters S Plus Sport. We're going to have the GT coming up really soon. The 08, but also I think we're going to get sent to us the supercharged 010X, the new one with the hydraulic brake, 60 volt, the whole works. Super stoked to get that from Rev Rides. And then we have the Hummer sitting here. We just need to pop that out and get to that one. Micromobility America. If you are interested in micromobility as an industry, the best people that are doing the best work on that right now is the Micromobility Group, Horace Deju's group, the Slack channel. If you can get on their Triple M membership, it's really good. And then they have Micromobility America July 16th and 17th. That link is in the video description. For coupons this week, we've got the eMove Cruiser still giving you guys the 7% off of the Cruiser and the Touring. The code is just our website, electric-scooter.guide. Two of our favorite scooters, absolutely. Then Rev Rides is doing a blowout biggest discount that they've ever done, which is 10% off any scooter on pre-order, which is every scooter right now. But what I've heard is that actually, and maybe I shouldn't say this, on their website, I think it says May, somewhere in May, so it's a month, but I think those might be a little earlier than May. We'll see. But anyway, yes, David, I am matching the Inokim for the thing. I try to do what I can. I see. This is a comment, by the way, if you're watching this later. Okay. So a couple news items, and then we're going to try to get Nimrod on the line. So a couple news items. First of all, a lot of the news is about coronavirus right now, right? And one picture that we saw that was really disturbing to me was the New York City subway image. I don't know that the photo's been making the rounds this week on social media. This kind of pisses me off, to be honest. It's like New York has, they're running, people need to get to work. You have these essential workers that need to be there, and, not everybody has a car. And so, like, how are they going to get around, especially because New York is like the only state that was about to sign electric scooter and e-bike legislation to make them legal in New York. And then, like, at the last minute, Cuomo, who's like everybody's hero right now, like vetoed it for I'm not going to get into the reasons. And it really makes me mad to see these people stuck in a subway car that, you can't be more than 6 feet away. Like this is just, it's not cool. It's just not cool at all. Nobody should be doing that. Horace Deju is making everybody's reporting on this. Horace Deju is making the case that New York should open up emergency bike lanes. Like 33 people from the MTA in New York have already died from coronavirus. 33 of the workers from the, what is it, Metropolitan Transit Authority or something, have already died from this. And anyway, so that's really bad. However, what happened as of, I think, April 2nd, and I'm not sure what day it goes into effect, but New York did just like a few days ago, legalize electric scooters and e-bikes. So great move for New York. A little late, guys, but you did it. You finally did it. So congratulations. You will be saving a lot of lives. Bill de Blasio, right? He was cracking down on food delivery workers, mostly immigrants in New York that were giving everybody food. These are essential workers now. So good for Bill de Blasio, who's not now cracking down and fining immigrants that are delivering our food. Okay, let me take a deep breath here. Ben Fox, our buddy Ben Fox, he's working to legalize electric scooters in the UK. And he's got a quick clip that I want to show a little portion of his clip. The full clip is in the video description for you to watch. So just real quick, if you're in the UK, watch this.
Tell you what, when I started YouTube, I did not think I would be giving updates on government websites and regulatory reviews and all this carry on about micromobility, but here I am, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm very happy with it, and I'm on a mission to get these things on the road, so I thought it would be best to tell you guys about this regulatory review, which we all need to fill in. You guys know about micromobility and scooters, and I need you to share your honest experience. So,
okay, so the link, if you're in the UK, please fill out the survey. We're trying to support legalization in the UK. This is something that just needs to happen. Right now, scooter sharing, right, is being pulled all over the world, and the ones that are still there, like some spin cities are still there. A lot of them are really pulling back. They are doing really good things, like giving free rides to these kind of like, frontline workers and stuff like that. But what's going on also is that for the personal market, we are somewhat at risk, because the sharing market, as I've talked to Nimrod about before, is kind of like how you get people hooked on scooters, and then the personal market has grown up in the shadow of this. And so I recently have had the pleasure to talk to Courtney Ehrlichman, who I've met through Micromobility. She was at the conference last year, and she's on the Slack channel. And I saw actually an article she wrote, and I was super impressed with the concept that she had. And I linked the article below, so if you have a minute, please read it. It's called "What If Tesla Pursued Micromobility?" And so what's happening is, of course, Tesla has been making electric cars, but recently they've got more competition. And what I think her argument, she's making the case that Tesla is ripe for disruption from the industry they disrupted by smaller companies that are actually focusing on last mile, right? Or last 3 miles or last 5 miles, right? For electric scooters. Because, Elon Musk is famous for saying, like, I forget the quote, but basically saying like, it's not cool to ride a scooter. But he also said that it wasn't cool for electric cars either. And he got into that. And so she makes the case that, that they've turned a blind eye to micromobility. And as competition heats up in the EV space, right, the electric vehicle space, she's saying, what if Tesla did what Steve Jobs did back in the day and kind of like innovated across the industry, right? So in other words, like, Tesla is great for long distances in cars, but what if they unbundled the car, right? And so she's saying, like, what if they made an electric scooter that fit into the trunk, was charged by the electric car, and then you have, once you get stuck in traffic, you pull over, whatever, and you zoom the rest of the way with your amazing Tesla electric scooter. And you can see other car manufacturers already doing this. Ford bought Spin, right? The sharing company Spin. And also BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, they already either have products, will be releasing products at the end of the summer, or have concepts ready. And there's more manufacturers that have bicycles. These are the 3 that already have scooter concepts or scooter products already going. So anyway, I love this idea of the of the unbundling of the car, and Tesla is like the perfect one to do it. We'll see what plays out. I think things are changing. We have our ear to the sharing market, and there are things happening there. Yeah. Okay. So without further ado, I want to introduce the founder of Inokim scooters, Nimrod Sapir. Nimrod, in my eyes, we're gonna see if we can get him while I'm talking about him. But Nimrod, in my eyes, is like the OGs. He's one of the OGs of the electric scooter market, starting back in 2008, 2009 with My Way, which then became Inokim later. We're gonna ask him about that. They made the scooter that is now known as the Quick scooter, right? That's the model, which now is ripped off by basically every company that we know of, right? He has a wealth of info, and if you're even somewhat interested in electric scooters, this you'll be remiss to not listen to what he has to say. So let me see if we have him here. And maybe we can get him on that other screen. Yep. Hello, Nimrod.
Hi.
Hey, all right.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear. And then we just double click the screen. Yep. We're good. We're just I got you on the little screen right in front of the camera so I can actually see you now. Yep, one more time.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
We did it.
Just cruise that. Yeah, we did. Just 1 second, and now double click the top. I got it from here. Leave that there. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Boom. Okay. Hey, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. Nobody knows, but it's 3 o'clock at night.
Yes.
In my zone here.
Yes, I appreciate. I know we spoke 5 hours ago when I we randomly connected, and I really appreciate that you basically either didn't go to sleep last night or woke up, super early in the morning. I've gotten already. We just promoted this live show, and people are already like pretty stoked that you are coming on. You're a very important person in our industry, and I don't know that everybody knows that. And so, thank you very much for being here.
Well, you definitely woke me up both ways. You know what I mean?
Okay, good. I guess that's good. So, where are you?
Where am I? I'm in Israel. I'm located in Israel, and that's my office. That's actually my father's basement. Used to be my father's basement. He passed away 1.5 years ago, and that's the garage where I have started producing the scooters manually.
Yeah.
It's a totally garage project, and here and exactly the place where I'm sitting, we were assembling around 200 to 300 first ever light electric scooters with as what they are known today.
So tell me
Pretty
about
much.
Yeah, I mean I'm very curious about, what year did you build your first scooter, and like how did you get the idea? How did you even get into electric scooters?
Okay, electric scooters were around since like the late 90s, since the late 90s, but they were very differently built and not efficient. Nobody dared to use lithium-ion batteries at the time because they tend to be expensive, and electric scooters tend to be like basically toy, if at all, some
Yeah.
rare species.
Sure.
And so there were some communities which used electric scooters, mainly youth, kids, definitely not for commuting, and
It was
and
you're saying
yeah,
it wasn't a commuter. It wasn't a commuter device at that
no, not at all. Well, they had a lot of disabilities. Okay, like They were either very, very weak and tend to break or not carry much of load,
Okay.
or they were few brands that could carry like 200 pounds or something like that, but they were very, very chunky and heavy and ugly build and tend to very, very noisy.
Yeah.
They all use lead acid batteries,
Ah.
and the motor was always like it was a usually electric brush motors of
Mm-hmm.
different from different such as different industries. So I know one brand you build the electric scooter from a motor of a
Yeah.
washing machine.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So
Okay.
with a chain,
Yeah.
with a chain.
So
So
what?
the chain
Sorry. Go ahead.
used to make a lot of noise, and you tend to break and get off the wheel, and it was not efficient. Was not seductive. It was
Yeah.
not presentable.
Yeah. So what I mean, like, what spurred you to make one?
Okay. First of all, I'm an industrial designer, and I've been designing a lot of things. And actually, as you are industrial designer, you take the basic idea which somebody wants to present, and you if you're a good designer, you start from a blank sheet, a totally blank sheet. You say, okay, so when you start from a blank sheet, you don't look at the technology that you have in front of you. You want to see the target at the end. You want to see what you want to presume. Um, and what drew me to the electric scooters is that I thought at the time, and I still think that it's the most could be the most efficient way to move a person from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Segway had the same idea. Dean Kamen came up with Segway with the same idea,
Yep.
but the Segway used to weigh like 40 kilograms, to be chunky, heavy, and big. It's definitely not portable. I mean, it's very cool to drive
Yeah,
a
you talking about the
Segway.
original Segways that were not inline wheels, but the ones like Paul Blart Mall Cop, the small, the ones that were supposed to change the
The
world,
big Segway,
but
okay, it's
didn't.
like a meter 20 high, and it's
Yes.
it's weight 80 pounds,
Okay. Yes.
very
Yes.
heavy,
Yes.
very
The
big.
original.
And he had the idea of personal mobility. Dean
Yeah.
Kamen had this
Yeah.
idea, but the execution was a very heavy tool. And when I saw electric scooters around, they were heavy too. And as a designer, I said, wow, this is a great tool. And I even used to have one which broke after a very short period of time. And I said, there must be, some technology breakthrough that can totally change this concept and make it like a hoverboard.
Yeah.
The idea of the hoverboard, personal
Yeah.
mobility, which can, run on the streets and
Yeah.
pavements. Um, I actually needed one because I was driving to the city from my hometown to the city,
Sure.
and using trains. I needed to have the last mile, and I had some ideas like, I couldn't carry bicycle on the train, so I used to have rollerblades, detachable rollerblades. I lived in New York at the
Uh
time,
huh.
and in '99, and I used to wear detachable rollerblades, so I could commute
Yeah.
without having to take the subway, or taking the subway and then taking on and off my rollerblades. I was always looking for this kind of solutions, so it was pretty natural to think about
So
it.
so you were trying to just get to work
Uh,
yourself. You bought one of the older electric scooters that were using the nickel metal batteries that were super heavy, didn't carry a lot, and just sounded. I wasn't I didn't know about scooters back then, so I haven't seen them. But sounds like they just weren't.
Okay.
They weren't what we think of today as an electric scooter.
Ex-
And then, and then
Yeah, they were very
okay. So it was a
okay.
personal need that you had, that you wanted to be able to like go and take it on the train and then take it from the train to work, sounds like.
Yes, and also I'm an entrepreneur by, by natural, because I always used to do things like when I was in the furniture industry at the time. Sometimes ago, I mean, and I did some breakthrough furnitures back in the 90s. I mean, 1990s. So yeah, and I was in a period also in 2008, which where I was looking for a new thing to do, and I thought this must be this must be a new. I saw it coming. This must be something fascinating that I could bring.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I quit everything I do and I went only for that. And unfortunately, at the time, I couldn't find any capital funding. Nobody believed in it, so I had to do it, by
Like a
my own.
like a bootstrap.
I borrowed, yeah, from a scrap, and I borrowed a lot of money from whoever I could to start the project. I did some prototypes, and what I can say, mechanically, I took four basic elements which changed the industry. One was to use. You're not asking the questions. I'm already answering everything. Is
That's
that
fine,
okay?
man. You're doing great. You're on a roll. I
Okay.
want to hear about these four I mean, now you've got my attention. What are we haven't talked about this already. What are the four things?
Okay. Okay. First one is was the lithium-ion battery.
Yeah,
Okay, that was not popular at the time to use, and the lithium-ion battery came from the industry of phones. Okay, it came from mobile phones. They developed this technology, and it was not popular for electric vehicles. Second thing is that I saw electric bicycle were around in China. They called it electric bicycle or electric scooters, and they used a brush at what was called um, brushless hub motor,
yeah.
which was a great breakthrough, and that was never used for electric scooters. So that's the second very, very important element, because I could give up the chain, the external motor, the chain, everything was my idea was to put everything inside the wheel, and and save a lot of space and weight and energy, and everything was going into that. Um, the second thing was construction. At the time, so the few electric scooters that were around, the construction was usually folding, folding tin, sheet metal, folded sheet metal,
Mm-hmm.
um, and with a wooden deck on top. Okay, and everything was uh, connected with screws, so it really looked like an ugly machine, um, which was also heavy and was not appealing. Was um, and the fourth element.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, sorry. So just to sharpen this idea, the what I did was to use uh, extruded aluminum for the main body and for other parts of the scooter.
I see.
So that gave me a very strong and thin and light structure.
Got
That
it.
was that was definitely the third element. And the fourth element was to develop a folding mechanism, a very, very easy
Uh,
and user-friendly and quick folding mechanism, which I did. And that's why the quick is called quick, because it could fold very quick.
Uh-huh.
The quick is full. The quick is called quick because it could be opened very quick, not because it drove quick, because speed is not an issue here. I don't know if you know it. You know, speed is just the speed is a function of your controller and battery and a little bit of the motor, but it's not an issue. You can do any speed you want. The speed, what I think, the speed has to be controlled quick to use, and that was
Uh-huh.
the very core main idea,
Yeah.
to open and close it very quick.
Yeah, we got a
Okay, I'm
picture of the
talking too much.
quick that we're putting on the screen right now. Um, this is amazing. I mean, this is amazing to hear about the four things. So the battery, the brushless motor, right? The construction, and then the folding, right? Those are the four those are the four. It sounds like those are the four things that you use to innovate on this scooter. And what kind of strikes me is that, sometimes, right, I imagine that, 5 years before that, would you have been able to use a lithium ion battery, right? Would you have been able, like, were all the technologies there? If you had looked at this project 5 years earlier, would you have been still able to make this?
Probably not, because I needed the brushless motor and you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. The brushless motor and the lithium-ion battery is definitely the thing that gave the breakthrough
Yeah,
opportunity.
gotcha.
And it did not exist, 5 years earlier.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like one of those, like, it was like you were the right person that had this interest, that had this knowledge. You were at the right time in history, basically, right? And you had the
Uh,
vision to
I-
see what was going to happen.
Precisely. Yeah.
Could you kind of take me through the history of the models that you developed? And we've got your websites open, so we're gonna try to like pop in images and stuff while you're talking about it. But just
Okay.
a quick timeline of like what
Sure,
model you
sure.
developed, and then after that, I want to ask you about my way to Inokim switch. So
Oh man, you definitely woke me up. Brings me such strong memories. My God.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure.
So let me tell you that. Let me tell you. Um, I didn't come from a background of a businessman, and I'm very much into design. So what happened is that my first model is actually what you called at the time was over-designed model. Okay, it was called compact. I called it my way compact, and it was like a very the smallest. Well, let me tell you that I did want to have a 10-inch inflatable tire. That was the size I thought would fit an electric scooter, and what I actually found, I could fit the the bro- the hub the hub the hub brushless hub motor of the bicycle. I actually built a rim and put a 10-inch inflatable tire around it. So I've decided that this would be the right size to have the electric scooter, which is big enough to feel comfortable riding, and small enough to be compact and foldable. Not like in controversy, the bicycle that used to have 26-inch. That was
Yeah,
so bringing the wheel into 10-inch could give me a very compact vehicle. Um, but what I wanted is to have how do you call it, a transformer, okay? Actually, a transformer that you could do some magic and have actually a pocket, a, 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 like a car in your pocket. Okay, the smallest thing.
Yes.
So what I did is to do this rear 10-inch tire motor as a rear wheel, and the front wheel had was an 8-inch tire, and it was all folding like a transformer to a very small and compact, something this big,
Yeah.
about half a meter size.
Yeah.
And
This is what was this one called?
that one is called compact.
The
You
compact.
can check it out. You can see images. I have patented it. I've invested on patenting the model everywhere.
Yeah, I remember seeing it
And
in your workshop. You were show. I think you have one there.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yep.
Cool. We'll try to find a
And it's
picture of it
all,
to place the. Is it called the My Way Compact?
yeah.
Okay, Ramir's looking it up right now to see if we can grab a picture
Okay.
of that. But yeah, okay, so that was the first
And
one.
so that was the first one. I had a prototype. I even made a video. You can see the video on our channel. And when people still, how do you say, open their eyes of what are you doing here? I even made. I mean, first I made an animation, and then I made a real working prototype, and had some friends, like 3 friends, acting and doing actually the first ever um, electric scooter video, which was copied um, on the idea of that you can fold and unfold something, put it in the car, take it into the train. It was running, and now the same idea is running in Kickstarter by many of other projects. This same basic idea. Um, Sorry, I don't hear you at all. I don't. Just not if you can hear me, and I'll continue. Yeah. Okay. So when I saw that I cannot get any capital, I decided to take the basic the 4 basic elements and make the most simple scooter I could ever do, and just
Hmm.
with the lithium-ion battery, a brushless up motor, folding, some smart folding mechanism, and the
And that was
aluminum
all
extruder.
in the compact, right? This was all
Well,
stuff you use in the compact.
that was all. Yeah, 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 yeah. That was
Okay.
stuff I used in the compact. Yeah. So I took these 4 elements and decided to do the most. What I decided to do was the most simple and attractive electric scooter ever made, and I came up with a quick
Yes.
with
There
a
we go.
quick folding mechanism.
Is that where the name
So,
came from? The
and
quick
that's
was
where
from
the
the.
name came from.
Okay.
From the folding mechanism of the quick, and then I actually purchased a stock of 100 motors from China,
Hmm.
and started and caught up with some manufacturers in China, and started assembling them in my workshop where I'm sitting right now, and had a small shop in Tel Aviv, and selling them one by one. It was very, very
Amazing.
difficult very difficult to convince people to buy them because nobody trusted the brand and the name and the product. But
Huh.
eventually, if there were any problems, I used to fix them for free. And the rumor came up that these kind of scooters have a father, and they're working fine, and the sales grew up,
And what year was this? What year was this?
that was 2011.
So
At
launch
the end
launch
of
of the first quick.
2011.
Launch of the first
The launch
edition
of the
quick.
first quick was I think August, September.
Auspicious. Okay. So then, okay, so you have the quick out, which I think is what, I know what we have the Ox here, and that's a newer scooter, but the quick, like, seemed like the marquee for Inokim. Would that be correct? Or
Yeah,
My Way?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
So maybe,
Uh,
go ahead.
no, I'm just saying we came up with a quick, and then some, and then some other companies copied it, and even came with smaller models. So we had to come up with something new and innovative because I didn't. Well, my fault was that I didn't patent. I didn't patent the quick soon enough, and when it was out, I couldn't do the patent anymore. So it was cloned by many other manufacturers, mainly in China and Korea,
Yep.
and we lost the advantage of being, the most common scooters because it was cloned on cheaper way, looking exactly the same, but giving, not the same quality by many other manufacturers, and the price was beating us. So we had to come up with a new model, and then we came up with the model called Light, which
The
was
Light.
like about 5 kilograms lighter than the Quick.
Okay. Got it. And what year was that? The Light.
Can't remember, but I think it was 2014 or
Okay.
15. I think we came up with in 2015 with a Light.
2015. And was it
I'm not
was it
sure
still
about.
My Way at this time, or did the name switch to Inokim?
Um, it switched to Inokim. Yeah, it was
Okay.
Inokim.
And why did you switch the name from My Way, which I see is still on the wall behind you there, over to
Okay.
Inokim?
Let me tell you that we had um, how do you call it, a problem registering the trademark.
Okay.
Um, I have registered the trademark worldwide when everything became to be, and
One sec. Okay, good. I think we're good. Sorry about that, everybody. We computer froze. We're gonna go and reinstall this operating system. I think we have too much stuff on there. But Nimrod's back. I'm so sorry about that. I'm a little sweaty from this experience, but it's okay. What were we talking about, Nimrod? We're gonna try to get your video back on the screen as well. But yeah, we can keep the conversation going. So I think everybody can hear him as well, or no? Yeah, you can hear me. I don't think. Yep. And let's just. uh, can you hear Nimrod now? Okay, 1 second.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I think we're good. I think audience can hear you as well. Okay, good. Okay, so where were we in this whole conversation? Let's keep this thing going. We have 13 minutes left to get through to, and I'm so sorry, Nimrod. I'm sorry for the 100 people that were watching, and now we're back up to 80 people. So that's cool. Everybody came back. All right, that makes me feel good. Okay, so why did the name change from My Way to Inokim? And so you were saying that My Way had that you were too late in getting the registering the trademark, I guess, for My Way, and there were already people using it in Holland and in China, I think you said, which is interesting because, it was like, yeah. So and so why, yeah. So you basically just couldn't use the name. Is that what happened?
Exactly that. Like
Okay.
I missed a couple of months before a Chinese company registered the name My Way, and they were doing electric bicycle. So it is it's the same rubric 12 for vehicles. So I couldn't use that in China, and
Yep.
also I had a rejection in Holland. A company of rental cars used to call itself My Way with a totally different logo.
Yeah.
So I couldn't use that.
Got it.
So the guys in China came with a name. I was already cooperating with a company in China, and they're producing in the scooters in China, and they came up with the name Inokim for the innovation and kilometer. So
Yes.
that's the source of the name Inokim.
Innovation and kilometer. That's so cool.
Innovating kilometers. Yes, that's Inokim.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So we know what it means, and so actually, one thing I wanted to touch on, and I know we don't have that much time left, is and like, what is the like what's U.S. market versus European market versus Israeli market? Why did the U.S. not have electric scooters? Do you think? Whereas scooters were kind of around in Israel and in Europe a bit more, right? It's a little bit more developed than in Asia, some places. Like what's going on there? Like what do you think caused that? Or
Okay. Uh, you know, there's a funny story. We were in Las Vegas. There is a bike show, bike show in Las Vegas, and we took a very big booth and had and presented our quick model was the only model there at the time. It was 2014, and people were looking for bicycle and came across us, saw the scooters, and they were fascinated. Wow, it was so cool, so small, so nice, so well designed, and people were really fascinated around it, and taking rounds and getting excited, and then I explained about the last mile solution idea and this as the future vehicle, um, uh, and they were like, and I said, don't you see yourself, riding that on the in the street? And the guys were saying, oh, no, 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 that's a toy. I mean, the perception and the of an adult with a suit and tie and briefcase and in a case, riding this was unacceptable
this is
for
what they were
American
saying
people.
at the bike show in Las Vegas?
Yeah, yeah. They said, "Oh no, I will not. I would not ride something like that because the image is
Yeah.
like using a toy." Also, when I was describing it to other people in presentations, in videos, and stuff like that in America, they all say, "Oh, like a razor." So
Yeah.
they immediately saw that as a toy for kids,
Did,
and
did
they
you
couldn't relate
did
with the image of
yeah.
a wealthy person spending $1,000 or $2,000 using a kid's using a toy and getting with it to the office. That's
Yeah.
how. It was.
Why wasn't that the perception in Europe and in Israel or Asia?
Well, I don't know about Asia, but I definitely know that in Israel, people are very, very open to new ideas and new trends, and they really do not care about image. I mean, people adopt trends very, very fast, and the uh, um, herd phenomena are very big in Israel. You know, if somebody is using something, especially if you put a celebrity picture with something new, everybody will adopt it.
Okay.
And that's how it worked. And in Israel, nobody was ashamed to use electric scooters, you know,
Ah.
in any time, in any time. Also, it was a perfect solution. In Israel and in Singapore, we both have pretty similar weather where everything, I mean, you have a long summer, which is humid, hot and humid, okay?
Yeah.
And a lot of, you know, non-parking places
Ah, I can.
and short distances, but packed roads in the city. So both Singapore and Israel adopted it very, very fast and
Mm.
and really gripped it
You
both hands.
I noticed that, I live in Berkeley, which it doesn't get that hot here, but about 2 weeks out of the summer, it gets really hot. And really hot for us is like above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius. Someone probably could put that in the live chat. But what I noticed was when I went to the co-working space, whereas usually there's bikes parked, like tons of bikes parked there, on the really hot days, nobody's riding the bikes because they would just be too sweaty when they get to work. And I'm basically had the whole, co-working parking to myself with my one scooter. And I I didn't have a drop of sweat on me because I was just like feeling the breeze. 90 degrees wasn't that bad. So I don't. Maybe in Israel, I think it's a little hotter, right? A lot of the
Yeah,
days.
yeah. I don't know 90 Fahrenheit, but you know, summer here is like 30 degrees Celsius
Brandon
and
Smith
very
says
humid.
34 degrees Celsius is 90 degrees.
Okay, okay. So we have the same weather here, but very humid,
Oh, I
very,
see.
very.
Okay, I see.
So you do sweat. You sweat a lot, and you know, if you pedal with a bicycle, you really get wet, and you don't want to get totally sweaty
Yeah,
and
it's kind of
in the
gross.
office.
It's kind of gross because then you got
And
to go to the office and
you
stink
know,
up the place. Well, hopefully not,
you
but
know how fun it is to ride a scooter,
yeah, of course.
electric scooter. You know how fun it is to press the
Yeah,
button and ski all the way
yeah,
to the office.
yeah. I mean, it's like I enjoy going to the office, right? I mean, I enjoy what I do, but it's like so fun to just take my 8-minute ride, and feel the wind.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
gotcha.
exactly. It is. It is. It's just a fun way to get there. I think one of the most fun. I mean, it's surfing, it's skiing, it's you know the feeling of standing up and curving with the two wheels.
Yeah,
It's just it's nothing. It's like nothing else.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, I lost your audio there for 1 second. I think it's
Okay,
got you
no,
back,
I'm
got you
back.
back, got you back. What were you saying? Just
All
rewind
right.
5 seconds.
Uh, Sorry. Oh, me.
Yes.
Rewind. Oh, I'm just saying
You were saying it's
that
really fun. It's good to carve, and I just want to interject real quick and say that like on the Inokim aux, the only Inokim that I've actually ever ridden, the very first thing that I felt, and I talk about this in the review coming up in 4 minutes now, but I called Justin immediately and I was like, this is a different experience than even other scooters. It just feels so solid. It just feels so comfortable. It feels so stable. And, anyway, I just figure I put my 2 cents in there. Sorry.
yeah. So you yeah. Basically that's the feeling.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to do this. You know, a couple of minutes ride to wherever you need to go. Is either either it can be a meeting or just going to work or just any kind of thing you need to do in a
Gotcha.
city or
Yeah, no, that's very cool. Last question, and then we got a couple minutes. We have like basically about 1 minute, and then we gotta sign off. But why does the why what well maybe I'll end with this question. What's next? What is next for Inokim? I hope to get my hands on the OXO or OXO, or I don't really know how to say that.
Also,
And the Quick as well at some point. But what's next for Inokim? What's next for you? Like, what are you working on? Are you still working for Inokim? Like, what's going on?
oh yeah, sure. Part of Inokim. I'm working for Inokim. Well, first of all, we're gonna have our first electric bicycle very soon, a couple of months, and next year we're gonna come up with Quick 4. We haven't done a new Quick for quite a while, and we're gonna come up with Quick 4. That will take. We already have all the prototypes and everything, but it's not final, so we need to have some time for that. But it's definitely coming. What's more important, the curve of electric scooters technology had done a huge step at the beginning already, and now the race is, yeah, they're going to be always, a little bit stronger, a little bit lighter. There is always the trade-off and the fight of these elements of strength and weight
Yes.
and power. But we're not going to fly in hoverboards for, at least for a decade. That's too much of the energy and safety. But I think what really needs to come up is not something that Inokim needs to do, but I think the authorities need to do, which is
And we got about 10 seconds. So
okay.
sorry.
The issue is to get the infrastructure correct for this kind of new transportation vehicles.
Yes.
Definitely
Yes.
that.
Agree. Oh,
The infrastructure has to contain, these kind of tools, and to make it legal, to make it safe, and to divide it from cars, from bicycles, from pedestrians. There must
yes.
put new lanes probably for that kind of tools.
I agree. I want to continue this conversation. Nimrod, I gotta cut you off now because we have a cutoff at 6. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been such an honor to talk to you. Let's get you back on again for sure, because there's way more that we could talk about. But I'm gonna have to sign off with you and say goodbye to the rest, because we have a premiere that's literally we can't pause that. So thank you.
Okay.
We'll talk soon. Okay, I'll message you on WhatsApp later today. Or
Okay.
tomorrow.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for sticking with us through our technical problem. I promise that will not happen again. Also, sorry, Raymir had a ride report for everybody. We're going to play that next week, so stay tuned for next week. Right now, if you guys, I'll paste the link for the premiere of the aux into the live chat here in a second. But anyway, super appreciate everybody for watching. Love you guys. I mean, this is my favorite job I've ever had, and I love all the great comments we get. So until next week, same time, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We'll see you then. Ride safe. Don't forget to wear your helmet, and stay safe. Stay healthy. Wash your hands. Bye-bye.